Determining the number of vents needed to properly ventilate an attic is not complicated if you have handy tools to help. Our net free area calculator is one such tool, and I have the creator of the calculator with me today as our guest. Hi there, welcome back to another episode of our podcast, Airing It Out with AirVent. My name is pscelsi. I host AirVent's Attic Ventilation Ask the Expert seminars offered every winter to residential roofing professionals all across North America since 1998. One of the more frequent questions we receive from roofing professionals and homeowners is, how many vents do I need for my attic? Our net free area calculator tells you exactly how many vents you need for any attic size. To help us discuss this further, let me introduce the creator of the net free area calculator, my coworker, Justin Aki, Gibraltar's marketing specialist. Welcome to the podcast, Justin.
Hey, Paul. I think the phrase is what? Long-time listener, first-time caller. But happy to be here.
I love it. Yes, we're happy to have you, Justin. Thank you so much. Justin and I, we work regularly together, creating various content, including AirVent University lesson plans, pop quizzes, seminar material, videos, social media posts. I'm excited to have you as our guest today, Justin. Justin, the beauty of the net free area calculator is it does the math for you immediately once you plug in the attic's size, the attic's square footage, and it gives you the various exhaust and intake vent choices at the snap of a finger.
Yeah, so we've designed the calculator to allow someone to literally just put in the attic square footage, and it'll start offering up options right away. There's no buttons to press right away. It'll start off with our flagship Ridge Vent products, but it's showing everything to properly ventilate the attic space. But we move on into pretty much any kind of attic vent product, both intake and exhaust.
Justin, could you give us a sampling of the categories or the types of vents that are covered when you use the net free area calculator for our listeners?
Yes. Now, and I will say that this calculator can be updated and will be updated frequently as we bring on more items to the market. But like I mentioned, we kick off with Ridge Vent, including our filtered and unfiltered shingle vent 2, unfiltered products, rolled ridge vents. But then we have a full line of static vents based on NFA, turbines, roof and gable mount power fans, solar attic fans, and then several intake options because a balanced ventilation system is key.
Love it. You said that. Great segue. Thank you, Justin, because one of AirVent's long-standing messages to the industry is balance the attic airflow with equal intake and exhaust. And this gives the attic airflow the best chance to fight heat buildup, moisture buildup, and ice dams. You've already teased it a little bit, Justin, but if we could just dig a little bit deeper, can you explain how the net free area calculator has this concept of balance built into its logic?
Okay, so it's very important to remember that what goes out must come from somewhere. If you don't control the intake, it's going to come from some other part of your roof, including other exhaust vents. So to make sure that we have, we properly put under eave and soffit vents in the calculator, as well as some of our more exotic offerings like the vented drip edge and our shingle over intake product, the edge vent. But it does specifically call out the NFA required for your roof. So you just need to make sure that whatever number you have for exhaust needs to be matched with your intake. And that number is very clear and plain as day.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you're listening to us right now and you don't know the exact square footage of the attic, which is length times width, floor of the attic, take your best guess just to get started using the calculator until you can measure the attic. Or if you have access to aerial views of the house, you can use the footprint dimensions of the house to come up with the attic square footage. For example, if an aerial view shows my house to be a footprint of 40 feet by 50 feet, then I would use 2,000 square feet as my measurement to get the calculator started. But Justin, what about attic volume and attic roof pitch? Many people will ask us if the steepness of the roof or the amount of volume in the attic affects the math, affects the number of vents needed.
Well, yeah, you're correct. That's what it is. It's volume. think of a box, let's just say like a shoebox. Everyone generally knows a shoebox is length, width, and let's say the height's 6 inches. Now, that's super easy to calculate the volume. But if you had a very tall box, like a boot box or something, same width and length, but it's so much taller, it's easy to see why the tall box would have more volume than the small shoebox. I mean, you can use the concept for all sorts of stuff, how many balls can fit in something, but we're literally just saying there's more volume in something taller. So tall pitched roof is the same. You have more volume in the space to ventilate. And so our calculator takes that into consideration and offers up the correct amount of anticipated vents per the slope of your roof. And that's just assuming a standard gable roof. But we're going to get within the ballpark of what you're going to need to make up that difference in the volume of the attic space.
Justin, I love that analogy. I might borrow that from you in future seminars. The shoebox versus a boot box. That's a great visual. It helps people understand. And as Justin said, so built into the logic, we have a factor that increases the number of vents because of the steepness. That's great. I should point out that code does not require this, but that is an extra amount of information from us factoring in volume, which is important to factor in. Justin, where can folks find the net free area calculator, and is it mobile friendly?
Well, calculator is very easy to find. It's found directly embedded on our webpage at GibraltarBuildingProducts.com. Now, you're going to have to click a couple things to get through to there. Also, if you're a longtime listener to the podcast, AirVent.com does redirect to Gibraltar Building Products. If you click our products tab, then ventilation, one of the first things you'll see at the top is a link to the calculator. It'll say ventilation calculators. I also believe now for the next month or two, especially when this podcast first comes out, there will be a feature image on our homepage that will take you directly to the calculator. We've also made sure that the calculator is mobile friendly first in design. In fact, we designed it to work on your mobile phone first. It was as a replacement to some of our older calculators and some of the older apps. But you can set up a bookmark or set a shortcut directly on your phone, both iOS and Android, and I have tested it on multiple types of phones.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Justin. Justin, are there other calculators in the works from AirVent, Gibraltar Building Products, if you're able to say?
Well, glad you asked. I would say the past couple months has been very calculator heavy in my work. We put a lot of resources into creating and updating our calculators for all of our business verticals. And it's to help out contractors and homeowners make the best plans for their houses. So as much as this is a ventilation podcast, we do support a lot of other industries with our products. So on our website at GibraltarBuildingProducts.com, you'll find a lot of calculators, including one for determining how much soffit you're going to need for an install, which I will also say that we do call out the NFA for the soffit as another intake. So there's 2 places to get intake on our website. Staying in the ventilation space, a new foundation ventilation calculator will come out a little later this year. That's, I would say, something pretty needed in the industry. A lot of that is very misunderstood. You do have to ventilate your foundation just as you would do your attic.
Yes.
Prevents moisture buildup. But we have calculators to help roofers estimate metal roofing job sizes compared to shingle roofs, which is helpful. Just, again, back of the napkin kind of math, but if you could just plug it in, it'll give you your answers. We also have a calculator for contractors who will buy coil from us and roll form on site. It'll help determine the size of the coil, how much they're going to need, that kind of stuff.
That's great. And Justin, same location?
Same location. Yep. Start the website. And as you click into the various categories of products we sell, metal roofing, soffit, if there's an option for a calculator, it'd be right at the top, just like ventilation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Justin. These are very helpful tools. I think the industry is going to find them useful and valuable. And I want to thank you, Justin, for your time today explaining the net free area calculator. Is there anything, Justin, you'd like to add for our listeners, either about the net free area calculator or our resources at large, or anything really that you want to share?
I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. I put a lot of effort and time into making these calculators, but they're only as useful as people will use them. I mean, I'm going to admit, I spend most of my time on a computer designing these things, doing the math for them, but it doesn't put me on a roof actually having to use them. So if there's any listeners, roofers, attendees of your AirVent seminars, they would like to give us feedback or suggestions to the current calculators or what we can do to improve our calculators, I'd love to hear from them. So I put that out there to anyone who reaches out to either myself, GibraltarBuildingProducts.com, or Paul. Please let me know how I can make your life a little bit easier. And again, if you run into a bug or doesn't work on your phone, just ping me.
Justin's very handy and very quick to troubleshoot various projects. I know that firsthand, especially at trade shows. So thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate it. This has been an interesting conversation. I appreciate it. I'll do my best too, Justin, as I'm out and about in the field talking to folks and see what kind of feedback I can get about the calculator as it's being used. I want to thank you so much for your time, Justin. Thanks for being our guest today to help us explain the net free area calculator. And it's really great to spend this time with you today. Thank you, Justin.
Oh, thank you, Paul. I don't get to see you as often as I'd like to, but it'll be soon enough. So, and again, any listeners out there, if you've been a guest on Paul's podcast, you listen to him, and you see me out and about or at a trade show, please stop by and say hi.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Put the net free area calculator to work to help you determine exactly how many intake and exhaust vents are needed for any attic. Well, that wraps up this episode. Please leave a review on YouTube or whatever platform you used to listen to this episode. Be sure to let us know if there's a topic you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Maybe you'd like to be a guest one day, or maybe you know someone who would make a great guest. Drop us a note on the podcast page of our website, GibraltarBuildingProducts.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. And please come back for more Airing It Out with AirVent. I'm Paul Pscelsi. Thanks for listening.